network tower, but it was the division inside the big Emerson Group was sold off a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, with a new name called Vertiv. And they have about 8% market share. Then you got Pillar. Pillar is only in the very large UPS for data centers, and it's using a different technology, a rotary technology. So this would only be large UPSs. And I think it would be particularly where there are data centers. So South Africa, maybe North Africa, maybe some of the bigger African countries like Nigeria. Pillar has about 4.5% market share. Then we have my old company, Legrand, which has only just started selling into Africa a few years ago. I started that. 3.5% market share. Then there's Socomet, which is also my previous old company for UPS, 3.5 market share. Then there's a whole lot that have between 2 to 3%. There's about another 8 or so other companies that are below those, including Riello from Italy, including YY from China, including ABB, which bought a Swiss UPS company, and including Delta from Taiwan. So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of 2 to 3% players in there as well.
So just a quick question. You talk about the overall market being $250 million for UPS and batteries. What is the split and parts and everything? What is the battery portion of this total market value?
Yeah, batteries could be anywhere between 30 and 50% of the cost of goods sold. I would say cost of goods sold rather than the sales price. You sell a system with the margin you want to sell, but in the cost of goods sold, the battery is anywhere between 30 and 50%, depending on the backup time. If there's only a small 15-minute backup time, and it's a small UPS, then the battery will be quite modest, maybe even less than 30% for the small power. If it's high power with a large battery, the battery can creep up towards 50% of the overall cost of the system. And the batteries are most often sourced locally by the local reseller. It depends. The single phase, less so. The single phase tend to come with batteries inside, and they tend to come from China. There's several different suppliers in China that are selling to even these international players, like Schneider, like Legrand, and so on, and Eaton, or they're coming from their own factories in China, but you have both. There the batteries are inside for the small machines. But if you're selling the three-phase, the large systems for several tens or several hundreds of kilowatts, then the local distributor or the local subsidiary, depending on the maker, will buy the batteries and sell the system locally.
Sorry, I'm asking about these market shares. So then for a company like Schneider that has 40 to 45%, this is 40 to 45% of the UPS parts. They aren't themselves selling batteries.
Yes, no, wrong. The UPS market data is always including the batteries that are sold with it, because it's an inseparable part of the system. You sell a UPS system, let's say, with 10 minutes backup time, or you sell a UPS system with 15 minutes backup time. That is the ticket price. And so those are the figures in here, including the batteries that are integrated. It's not sold separately. The battery is never sold separately. The customer buys a product for one-stop shopping, and the seller takes responsibility for the power electronics, UPS, and the battery system. Very often he doesn't even know where the battery is. It's very often inside the UPS or in a cabinet placed next to the UPS, or in the bigger systems, it would be installed in a separate battery room. But it's the system that counts, and these figures include batteries.
So if I'm buying